Hi, this is Carin Camen, and you are listening and watching the Hats That I Wear training video series. We have just finished going over all the different roles in an IT project and have also talked about the management roles. So at this point, there is a lot of information, and especially if you're not new, if you're not familiar with IT, it's probably a little bit of an information overload. And at this point, you may be asking, okay, well, so what? What's in it for me? So let's talk about what's in it for you. I am a consultant, and so I work with enterprise, I work with small businesses, and I work on personal. I have 3 different consulting platforms. The first one is my premier service. This is where I do one-on-one consulting. So for instance, enterprise or small business, we'll go over personal in just a little bit. Right now, we're going to focus just on professional. This is where I would go in and work with a specific individual, a specific team, to provide accountability coaching, helping them to be able to learn how to implement getting from point A to point B and having a project timeline and being able to apply specific things that they're wanting or you're wanting to occur, and being able to have that accountability coach to help them refine the areas where they're lacking to consistency. It could be an IT project coaching where I would come in first, initially observe the project, find out where we're having challenges on there, and then be able to go and provide expertise on how to overcome those challenges. Or it could be, if you are wanting to implement Agile, being able to come in and help set up an Agile coaching with setting up an Agile training in order to be able to help you smoothly transition into Agile, because anytime that there is a major change, there's going to be resistance, there's going to be, a little bit of challenges, and we don't want those challenges to cause major setbacks into a project. So those are the premier services that I have. The next service that I have is called the consulting service. This is where I come in and I work with the team. So I do team consulting. We've talked about having the forming, storming, norming, and performing phases of team. Team building is where I come in and work with teams who are struggling in the storming phase to be able to help them learn conflict management, conflict resolution, and be able to help refine communication patterns in order to make that more productive. I can also come in and provide specific skill set training. So you've seen all the hats that I wear, and if you're saying that seemed really good, we'd like to do that, but we don't know how to implement that, that's where I would come in and work with your team to teach and learn how to implement, for instance, the user workflow process chart or the map that I went and talked about. It could be refining the backlog grooming process, or taking the timeline, the project timeline, and taking that up a step. So specific skill set training, I will work with teams and team members there. And then doing a project evaluation. That is where I come in and look at the project as a whole and see where the challenges may be, and being able to help give insight into how to rectify those challenges. I don't take the place of a PO or a Scrum Master or a project manager, but basically giving an outside point of view and saying, okay, this is what I have found with when I worked in this team, and this might be able to help implement. If you implemented this would be able to help you be able to get the project back on track and have things be a little bit more smoother. Then we also have what is called the mentor service. The mentor service is relatively new. I am still in the process of putting that together. And the benefit of the mentor service is this is mainly for small businesses. This is where small businesses don't have those enterprise budgets, but they're still wanting to implement many of the things that you've been I've talked to you about on here. So by having a group of small businesses come together, we do webinar consulting, doing staff training, and also doing, a training series. Several small businesses can then go and come in together with that cost so that it can be extremely affordable. And that is something that I am putting together. It is not quite there yet, but I will keep you posted. So those are the three professional side of the consulting that I do. Then we have everything that you've seen here on that IT process. I take that into being an accountability trainer and coach. My goal as an accountability and trainer and coach is for you to work with me in the minimal amount of time. Because if you are needing me for a lengthy time, we are no longer doing internal accountability. We're doing external accountability. And that's not what the goal is. So as an accountability trainer and coach, I help you be able to balance the spiritual, physical, financial, and relational aspects of your life. And some of those things that I do is I apply the strategy of the IT on how to get from point A to point B, so all that left brain work. And if you remember, that left brain work was the discovery and the strategy phase. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to add some spice of right brain work to help create plans that meet your personality, and as we refine to work on defining and refining your internal accountability, because it's never a cookie cutter process. It's not like, plug this in and everybody's the same. We have to create that design specific to you. And so those are the things that I do, that beautiful right brain work of design and execution. So those are the things that I do. What happens and what occurs is we end up having lots of laughter, because there definitely will be challenges that make us feel uncomfortable, to help us overcome our fears, learning how to face our fears in order for us to be able to gain that internal accountability. So yeah, we'll probably cry through some struggles, and that's okay, because sometimes those struggles seem unsurmountable. But then, you know what? We're also going to rejoice and celebrate when we are able to overcome our fears and overcome our struggles. So that is the personal side of the consulting service that I do. So my question to you is simply this. If you have found this beneficial and helpful, then why don't you grab your hat and follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, and let's do this together. This is Carin Camen, and thank you for watching the Hats That I Wear video training series. This is the final series of final episode of that training series, and I look forward to engaging with you online. We'll talk with you then.